Okay, YouTube, this is Acid Roots. I'm going to review Kendrick Lamar's Untitled Unmastered. Now, the thing about this project is it's made up of 8 songs, and none of these songs have names, but you get to know the various dates as to when they were made. So they were made throughout the course of 2013 and 2014, and a lot of these were meant to be early thoughts for To Pimp a Butterfly. Now, I assume he completed that album in 2014 somewhere because it came out at the beginning of 2015, but really we have no real idea how many songs Kendrick recorded, so this just happens to be an extra, placeholder in between Pimp a Butterfly and his next album. So really, I do appreciate that idea, but unfortunately, the execution of it to me is pretty poor. Now, I know Kendrick wanted to try some new stuff. He's not exactly a club rapper and a more just it, it would seem, the mainstream type stuff. He kind of takes a different sound and it just his style is a little bit different. It seems like the jazz type stuff that he does and the various genres that he blends into this project, to me it doesn't feel like a rap album, which, obviously I figured it probably should, but at this point in time it's strange that he decided to kind of experiment more when the sound he was doing was really not that much of an issue. Now, obviously, I tried listening to Pimp a Butterfly in the past. I wound up disliking it then, but I'm probably going to look back into it. And the thing is, without the standard approach as to which rap albums most take, this is more of a pill than I was willing to handle. Now, there are traces. I feel like the song Untitled 8 definitely has some just kind of crazy bluesy type. Yeah, that one was pretty unexpected. That one probably had the best production on here. Felt like the type of stuff that Kendrick probably should have been on more often. I also like the shadiness and the overall kind of moody and demeaning atmosphere to Untitled 2. Both of these could have stood to had album names. I know that that's the point of the album, but it almost feels like this album could also be uncooked along with Untitled and Unmastered, because most of this is kind of halfway done, but at the same time it needed a bit more juice to kind of make it to where we're saying this is untouchable. So there is a third song that I appreciated, which was Untitled 7, but the best part really stops after about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That would have been that much more effective had it been, a little bit longer and the other 6 minutes of the song had been chopped off. But I know that art is supposed to be experimentation, but it it makes you wonder if it should oversee the music versus just making the hits first. It's kind of, that's just the biggest thing that I think most people will say is the fact that it's just it feels very expressive. And the problem with that to me is I found myself just wanting, hit song, unreleased Kendrick Lamar single that charts and hits 20 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's kind of what I was expecting. Really, you look at some, people who do compilations on the past, they put their B-sides on there and that sort of thing, and there's really nothing like that. This is Kendrick when he's at work versus Kendrick that you didn't really get to hear. So it's a toss-up as far as which of the two would be the better emphasis. Disturbed did an album in 2011 called like The Lost Children or something like that, which was all the songs that they were going to release but did not. I would like to see Kendrick do that as opposed to just some scraps and leftovers that sound like really uncooked music. That would have probably been more effective because really, I'm gonna give this album a 2.5 out of 10 just because out of 8 songs, I really only like two. I would have, Untitled 2, Untitled 8. I would have liked Untitled 7 if it had been longer. I mean, I can listen to it, but I would probably find a way to just skip the song after that 2.5 minutes. But the social score, that Untitled 7 was released as a single, so it did have some form of promotion. But I mean, it's a good idea, but like I said, the execution of it is just not that well full figured. So it's too messy. In other words, it just needed some refinement. But so yeah, the social score I will give a 5 out of 10 or I'll give it a 4 out of 10 because out of the idea of it charting in the first place, I mean, there's not too many people that can just say Untitled August 2014 and it charts. So that obviously works. Maybe Eminem could do that or Dr. Dre, but not too many folks can really get away with that. So social score gets a 4. I mean, I would have liked to have known what would have been the second single, but it's that's kind of me throwing a jab, but it's not intended. It's just you know teasing more so than anything else. But really, the album is probably still worth getting a hold of just for the best moments, but you really have to pick and choose on this. So, all right, subscribe for more fun. And, can this record be topped? The answer is yes. And it'll be interesting to see what Kendrick Lamar does in the future.